Although I made a down payment on my Bearhawk Companion at Oshkosh 2024, I had never flown one of these aircraft, or sat in one for that matter. I wasn't scheduled to receive my kit until August 2025, over a year later, and this holding pattern made me begin to second guess my decision in the time and cost it would take to build a kit plane. I was preparing to receive the kit though, and even modified my hangar to transition to a much bigger project than the Cessna 140 had been, but I still felt the urge to go see a Bearhawk fly in person. So in January the next year, right before my spring semester started as a professor at the MTSU School of Aerospace, a buddy and I made the trek from Middle Tennessee to Fairview, Oklahoma in a GA aircraft for a tour of the build center to see just how built for the journey these birds are. And I'll be honest, I was blown away by what we saw. It took the better part of a day to fly to 6 Kilo 4 from the Nashville area. We overnighted in Fairview, and the next morning we met Virgil and the Bearhawk team at the hangar to look at how they prepared these kits and what one looked like when it shipped out. It was awesome to get to see the stuff they had going on and even preparing for a build assist that you may have watched on another channel. There's a whole story about that, but I think I'll save that one for another video. If you're new to experimental aircraft, these are what the FAA calls amateur-built aircraft. They can be done from scratch by a builder, but I elected to have Virgil's team build about 49% of my aircraft here at their facility. And then I ended up completing the remainder of it once it would ship to me. This is referred to as a kit plane, and that's where the title of this video and this series comes from. You really don't need any certificate or license to build this aircraft, although I'm hoping that my experience as an aircraft mechanic will greatly help me as I complete the build. If you're interested in learning more about experimental aircraft, I've done a deep dive explanation on that process in a previous video, and I'll link it up here as well as at the end of this one.
I'm looking, I want the 390X, the beast, but basically I'm keeping my eye out for any IO3. Alright, so I'm out here at the Bearhawk factory, and they've got a Companion ready to ship out. Mine's going to be coming out in August. You guys won't see this until much later than that, but I'm super excited to have kind of got to talk to them a little bit about the airplane, look at some of the things I'll be doing here on my channel, as well as just really getting excited about starting this quick build kit and showing you guys kind of the process of my first kit plane.
Although I didn't get to do any of the flying, I did get the experience of riding in Virgil's Bearhawk Model 5 and observing some of the performance of his aircraft. I was able to record this entire flight with audio, in which Virgil explained some of the differences in Bearhawks as well as specifics about the Model 5. Make sure to look for that video on my channel as well. As much as I obviously would rather have flown in a Companion, everything I saw on this 5 aligned with the claims that they had been making, so it made me feel more confident in my decision to go with Bearhawk, assuming that the Companion holds true to its spec sheet. Even though I had 6 months until I was going to see my kit, I had a lot of prepping to do. So after the cold flight back to Middle Tennessee, I began to prep both myself and my build space to receive the Companion. I did a residential wiring course when I was a young teenager at our local TCAT just up the road, and I decided to wire in some LED lights to help improve my visibility in the hangar. I can't tell you how much of a help this would have been while I was working on the Cessna 140, and I know it'll make a huge difference, especially for those late nights that I'm building on the Bearhawk, to have all this light to be able to see with. But that wasn't the only thing I did. I went ahead and spent some time getting familiar with the forums, as well as reading through the build manuals and trying to make a little tools list on what I would need once I did receive the Bearhawk. And I almost ran out of time, even though I had 6 months. August crept up quick on me, and it was finally time to get the plane. Alright, so the delivery driver just called me and said that he is on his way up. Super exciting.
Looking forward to getting this Bearhawk, and probably in the next few days just kind of unpacking it. It is right now the end of summer and I'll start back teaching next week, so unfortunately I don't have a ton of free time I can work on it, but I have adjusted my schedule this semester to where I will work 4 days a week for the first half of the semester, and then only 2 the last half. So I should be able to make some good headway on this build, and obviously during the winter I'm gonna light into it as hard as I can. And I've done the math and I think I can get this thing done in 2 years. That's moving, that's not wasting any time and working on it some every week. But I'm excited about the process and I'm excited about this. And actually, he's here right now.
Builders can pick their aircraft up in Fairview, but the insured shipping was cheaper than I could rent a box truck and go get it myself. I paid for a professional driver to bring the kit in, and it paid off in dividends when I realized his trailer had a built-in crane on it. Seriously, this was the best possible news, as I only have like one friend and he and I couldn't have picked this thing up together. I highly recommend buying or borrowing about 6 heavy-duty dollies for offloading this thing. Many people have these delivered straight to their garage or hangar at an airport, and depending on the slope outside of your building, make sure you have a plan for not only moving it, but stopping it if you need to. It's wild to think that the next time that these parts roll out of this hangar, they're going to be assembled into an airplane. And the fact that it will be the biggest journey that I have ever endeavored to undertake in my aviation experience. And I look forward to the challenge, the growth, and learning as I embark on this process. I think I'm most excited about finding parts of this to do with my family and friends, and sharing this build not just here on this channel, but in person as well. It is no coincidence that I'm receiving this aircraft around Thanksgiving in the United States. I am extremely grateful for those of you who have already assisted me in getting started with my build, and those who are just here to watch my journey. The aviation community is a fraternal group that I have benefited from and hope to, in some small way, impact for the better through this build and my life in general.
So it's awesome to have the Bearhawk here now, and honestly I was getting nervous as it was arriving, and the excitement and the anticipation of it was just building. And now to have it here and be able to start unpacking it this coming week, it's going to be awesome to see what I've got in the kit. There'll be some stuff that's in that kit, some stuff that is drop shipped from Aircraft Spruce, hardware and whatnot. And I look forward to sharing, unpacking it and everything else with you in the next videos. Thanks and have a great day.